Good morning, friends. It has been a while. It's the beginning of June. I cut all my hair off and it's been very nice. It is Sunday, June 2nd. Nope. It is Sunday, July 2nd. I clearly haven't had enough coffee today and I don't know what day it is. It is July 2nd. I didn't do any garden videos, like real ones, in the month of June showing off what's going on in the garden because we were in a fight. Me and the garden were fighting with each other. I think we mostly have that under control. A lot of my plants are big enough now that they are resisting the ant damage that is still existing. The ant situation is better than it was before, but it is still not perfectly handled. There are some things in this garden I need to take care of. It's probably not going to happen today because I think we're about to get some rain here in a minute. It's like doing this weird misty thing. I think we're about to get some rain and then it's supposed to rain on and off all day. So this is probably going to be like a during this week kind of a task, but I did want to get a quick garden tour video in and kind of show you where things stand now that we are at the beginning of June. Because things have popped off. They've really taken off with, we got some really good rain. It's been decently warm. So I'm going to flip you around and we're going to just walk through what this garden looks like now. Okay, so the last time you saw this garden was a sad little puny garden. And we have now made it to the point of the season where I feel much better about what's going on here. So we're going to walk through these beds and I'm just going to kind of show off what we have here. Nick's anise hyssop plant is freaking taking off. It looks a little wilty. I think it needs watered. Good thing it's gonna rain. Our green onions finally grew up to be real green onions. Some are still really tiny, but it's fine. The potatoes I think are diseased and I'm just leaving them because I don't want to deal with them right now. You'll see the mint plant took off. I will show you more of that in a minute. In our first bed here, this is our Tommy Toe cherry tomatoes. You can see in here we've got quite a few tomatoes hanging out. There's lots of little tomatoes everywhere. I do need to do some trimming. I need to tie up some branches. Like this guy, that's not gonna cut it. So I need to get that organized some. Our natapenos are these two plants here. You can see this is nasturtium. The nasturtium plant is over on the other side. I got these from Lucada Farm and I'm not sure what variety they are, but they're vining out really far. And so they're kind of just like spreading all the way over here. And I'm kind of getting annoyed by them, so I might rip them out, but they're so pretty, so we might just leave them. Both of these are natapeño plants, which are the jalapeno non-spicy version. You can see the little baby pepper there. All these flowers are hopefully going to turn into tiny peppers. This is the habanada that I had planted. It died back and it is slowly thinking about making a recovery. It's still getting eaten, so there's a solid chance this will not turn into anything. These are some radishes that I don't think are going to turn into anything. This is a cauliflower, I think, that I'm about to rip out. There's cabbage worms all over it. And as you can see, our sugar snap peas just like took off. I really need to come out here and harvest because some of these guys are getting real thick. Our parsley plant is also huge now. This has been great. We've been using this a lot in cooking. And we have this beauty. This was a Mother's Day weekend special from Lucada. If you went in and you bought plants, you got a sunflower or another plant for free. So I opted for sunflower and I didn't realize it was going to be a multi-headed sunflower. And it's so pretty. It makes me so happy. Our onions are still onioning. I did have to pull out a few that had bolted. The rest of these are doing fine and some of them are getting like pretty fat, so I think we're gonna be okay. I put in a basil plant here that is trying really hard to survive. I don't know what's eating it and I've partially given up trying to figure it out. If it lives, it lives. If it does not, it does not. These are also radishes that are getting eaten. Rosemary plant. It smells so good. And then this cherry tomato. I think I'm going to rip this out. So this reseeded itself. And I wanted to just let it go. These are the orange cherry tomatoes. And now you'll see we have our first little tomatoes doing tomato things. But it's like, it's not trellised, it's not pruned, it's falling over and it's impacting my other plants. Oh, guys, Bumble friend, look. Hello, Bumble. Hi. I don't know if you caught him on camera literally at all. He won't stop moving. Okay, I'll put the tomato down so you can drink it. Oh, he's gone. He's in the calendulas. I don't know if he showed up on screen at all. But I think I'm gonna rip this guy out because over there I have a thyme plant and a couple zucchinis, and this guy's impacting them. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna rip him out today. Actually, okay, no, I'm gonna let it sit, but I think I'm gonna rip that out. I almost just did it just now. Another nasturtium. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, you see how that's vining all the way up? Last year my nasturtiums did not do that, so I didn't even know that was a possibility. These may or may not turn into Shasta daisies. Are they going to flower? I don't know. So I'm just leaving them to see what they do. These are hopefully gonna be carrots, which has me really excited. They're very big and bushy looking, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. The strawberry plants are thriving. I keep having to go in. So when you have strawberry plants, the way they reproduce is they put off these shoots called runners. And so you'll see that it's got a new plant on the end. Runners are good. It means you're getting more strawberry plants. They keep running outside of the beds. Like this little guy. So I just come in and I just like, boop, put them in there so that they stay inside. You can see our raspberry bush took off, I think. Look at that. This is the first one I've gotten to eat all season. Oh man. First raspberry. Oh, that's so good. It's like just sweet enough. Could have sat another day, but animals have been coming and taking them. So I wanted to get at least one before they take them all. Yeah, I'm gonna flip you back around now. But yeah, we don't know, like we pruned our bush and then we got like tons of rain and it freaked out. So we got like these really tall sections. This branch is dying. What's happening here? There was some on there, but that whole branch is dead. Yeah, so that's just doing its thing. It's gone like well past the fence. No, just let it do. And then this bed never really got planted. I got really frustrated with the ants eating everything. And so I did put a couple of zucchinis in here. Oh, it's raining. We're gonna finish this in the rain. It's fine. I want to take the 2 zucchinis that are there and pop them into this bed so that we have all zucchinis in here. Now this bed has been a joyous situation. These calendulas all reseeded from one calendula plant. When you have plants like this, so you'll see I have these really pretty, very pretty buds, and then I have these guys that are clearly dead. You want to just pop those off. It's called deadheading your plants. It will stimulate continued growth of your plants. And so that's why this thing reseeded, because this is what I do. I take these and then I do one of those. Which is fun because then it keeps them growing in your garden. The cucumbers are looking pretty big and fairly healthy. I do have some confusion and I need to do some internet research. Let me see if I can find one. I mean, okay, first off, cucumber. They're gorgeous. But I have some that have been doing this, where it produces a little cucumber and then it goes brown and then it sort of like dies off. Not very many have done that, but then also oh look, this is gonna be, where did it go? Oh, there it is. That is gonna be a mini cucumber. But then we're gonna come around the back side of this bed here. This is why we built our beds away from the fence, so I can get behind it. So I also have this situation where I'm getting some cucumbers and then that start, and then they turn into this yellowness and then they die. There's gonna be another one, and another one, and another one. But so I'm not sure, oh, about to fall over. I'm not sure what's happening with that and why that's doing that. But it is, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Again, the freaking nasturtium is everywhere. Back here is a tomato plant. I think these are, actually I don't know, they might be homestead tomatoes. You'll see some little guys. This one did an interesting thing. I pruned this back so it had two main branches, this one here and this one here. And I'm gonna go around the front so you can see. But it like branched off really tall before it started producing anything. And it's really like long and gangly, and I don't understand why. But I mean, it's fine. It's making tomatoes and it's got good airflow. This is green beans. I was in here the other day picking green beans off. I mean, you can see I need to come out here. I'll probably come out here this afternoon when it stops raining, and I need to pick all of these. You'll see this poor guy down here. I keep having to pick him up. We got this massive, massive rainstorm, like pummeled all of my plants. That's why that guy is laid over. That's why that green bean plant is laid over. The plants got absolutely pummeled. And that one refuses to stand up anymore, but it's okay. I also have some volunteer tomatoes. These are definitely homestead tomatoes that are just in there, and I'm letting them grow. The back of this first bed, we've got this big guy here who's also producing some little tomatoes. I actually don't remember what this might be. A homestead tomato, just like basic tomatoes. This is a shishito plant, which I'm very excited about. You hear the bumblebee. I don't know where it is, but I can hear it. These will make really cute, I mean, you can see how tiny these buds are. These are gonna make really tiny, cute peppers. These two are both poblano peppers, and they are starting to get some buds and produce. This is our jalapeno plant. Oh, finally, okay. This is our jalapeno plant. This one suffered a lot from the ant damage, but he's branching off and making jalapenos, so I'll take it. This is that nasturtium that's branching through that tomato plant that I kind of want to get rid of this. More tomatoes. I need to tie this up and prune these back. You don't want these leaves touching the ground. I'm gonna just snap this off now. If these things are touching the ground, that increases your risk of disease. And so what I need to do is I need to tie that up so it like climbs up the trellis. Again, that'll be actually I'm gonna try shoving this guy in through here. Sometimes I also do this to kind of like give them the support they need before I get a chance to get around to tying them. It keeps that, so I shoved it through, and it's gonna keep that up a little bit closer to get it moving up there. And then this bed is a hot mess. So this is our ground cherry plant that reseeded itself. So you'll see these little guys. So these will turn yellow, and then they will fall off the plant onto the ground, and that's how you know you get to eat them. They're actually poisonous when they're on here like this. You'd have to eat a bunch to actually poison yourself, but they're not good, and they're very bitter when they're this color. What's interesting, our ground cherry plants were over there and in that square bed that has the zucchinis in it last year. How did this end up here? Good question. Now this is a hot mess that I really need to deal with so we don't start getting disease. So these are Romas and San Marzanos, this whole section, because Nick really likes to make pasta sauce. You can see we got some cute little tomatoes in there. But there is no airflow in here because these plants are so large, and you can see there's lots of stuff touching the ground. So one of the things that this is priority number one, is to come in and deal with this row of tomatoes. I've been pruning pretty well. Oh, look at that cute little guy. I've been pruning it pretty well in the very beginning, and then as I said, we got into that nice garden fight. So I didn't deal with it. I was not out here very often because I was just like mad. And every time I came out here, I just got more mad. So I need to come out here and prune and tie up these tomatoes a little better. So we get healthy tomatoes and we have some airflow in there. These eggplants are like doing some stuff. So I don't know if they're actually going to produce, but I'm just leaving them. Just letting them go. They're still doing things. So that's kind of exciting. I don't know if eggplants flower. I'm assuming they do. Most things flower before they produce things. So we'll see. This is a lantern pepper, like hot pepper. It's got these little buds. Well, these are going to be little tiny peppers. Nick wanted a hot pepper, so here we are with this hot pepper. These two, check it out. These are nibbler peppers, so they'll just be like tiny snacking peppers. Oh, there's another one. I didn't even see that guy. He's right there. Yay! You can see we're still dealing with damage. I don't know. I don't even know if it's the ants anymore. I've also seen pincher bugs in here. I've been told pincher bugs are good for the garden, but like, is that what's eating my plants? Like, I don't know, and I've lost the energy to worry about it because they're still producing. Where'd my little tag go? I lost all my tags, and some of them are fading off. There's also pepper of some kind. This basil is thriving. We finally figured out that this bucket had a drainage problem and everything in there was basically drowning. So Nick dumped out all that soil, drilled extra holes in the bottom, and now that basil is just like taken off, which is awesome. It's so nice to have fresh basil to put on stuff. I can't wait till the tomatoes come in. And then this was the mint, and this is lemon balm. So you can see they just like took over. This is why you don't plant mint in your garden beds. Your entire garden bed will turn into a mint plant. Anything in the mint family, which is mint, lemon balm, the anise hyssop, catnip, catmint, any of that stuff will take over your beds. As you can see, so like this is a potato plant hypothetically, but like the leaves are also very weird. I don't know. I mean, there's also weeds growing in here, so that's a whole other thing, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get potatoes this year, which the world's not going to end. I don't really care that much. You can see we still got our ant traps out, but in general, the ants are slowing down. It could take a few weeks for them to actually be gone all the way. So we're working on it, and I feel like there's less damage. I feel like there's got to be other pests in here, but I don't know if I have the energy to care about them. But yeah, so that's where we stand. These make me so happy. I like look out my window and I love them so much. But this is where we stand at the very beginning of July. I thought at one point that my garden was behind, but then I looked at pictures from last year and actually we're right on track. Like last year this time, there were lots of green tomatoes, lots of things starting to take off that weren't quite ready to harvest yet. So we're just gonna keep trucking along. I think, today the two things I'd like to do, especially because it's cooler today, because it's overcast with this weather, I really want to move the two zucchinis move these two zucchinis into this bed here, and maybe rip out that tomato that's affecting my rosemary and thyme plants. Other than that, I might harvest some green beans. I'll maybe do that later. I'm gonna go inside though because I'm getting sprinkled on and I don't love it. And we'll see what the weather lets me do later. If it clears up a little bit, I'll probably come back out here and do some stuff. If it doesn't, then I'll do it tomorrow. There's no pressure and no rush. So thank you for coming along on this garden tour. I hope this kind of inspired you to keep going with your garden, because this is the time of year I think things get hard. It's hot. No one wants to be outside. Plants are doing some weird stuff. Like things get blight or disease, or they start to die sometimes for no reason. And I think, I hope that this encouraged you to go harvest some stuff, check on your garden, think about planting your fall garden. So, wait, hang on. I can't leave you yet. I need to show you one more thing. I just caught this out of the corner of my eye. You know how I told you all my bean plants had died? Look. where there is a will, there is a way, I guess. These were supposed to vine up this trellis. You can see one more that's there that's just green. You can see the stem of one right here. But they didn't because the ants attacked them so bad. I didn't even realize that these had flowered. So I'm just gonna leave those here because that's really fun. I can't believe they actually grew. Yet another sign that plants really just want to grow. Like, that's all they want. If you can give them the right environment and keep them growing, like, this is all they want to do. So I will leave you on that note. Plants want to grow, and they'll grow even when you don't think they're ever going to. Okay, it's a week later. I'm just tacking this on to the end to give you guys a couple of updates. Because I went through and I fixed these tomatoes. So I'm going to flip you around and show you what we've done. Okay, so in our very first bed, you'll see here, a lot of this bottom stuff is now cleared out. We have this guy who's almost ready to go. Almost ready to get picked. So you'll see things look a lot more sparse when it comes to the tomatoes. I think this made it on the previous part of the video, but oh my God, it's so pretty. And so you'll see I cleared out a lot of spare branches down in here so that these plants can breathe. And so I did the same thing. You guys remember what this mess looked like. And so I went through, look, I didn't even know all these tomatoes existed. Like, I truly had no clue that all of these tomatoes were here. I knocked a couple little babies off, it happens. But I went through and I lifted everything up, clipped off a bunch of extra leaves. So you'll see, like here, I snipped it off. It will like heal over there. What's interesting about tomatoes is if you just let them grow, they will sprout roots from anywhere that touches the ground. So this was along the ground, so it would have rooted itself into the ground. Luckily, it's now up and going. I also noticed, I think we're gonna get eggplants. Like, that is gonna be an eggplant flowers. These are gonna be eggplant flowers. So after everything that happened in the garden, with all of these stupid ants that ate everything, I think I'm still gonna get eggplants. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how the tomatoes look now that they're all trellised up. This one's kind of hard to tell because it's trellised, but there's also peppers in the front. There's a couple branches I probably still could have taken off here, but you can. The big thing is the bottom. There's all this airflow, so that the bottom leaves aren't gonna get diseased and run disease up the length of the plants. I can't wait for all these tomatoes to go ripe. It's very exciting.